Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be putting the top deck on the passenger side of the truck, but most importantly, we're going to be securing the bottles on this pipeline style welding rig. We're gonna have 2 oxygen, 1 acetylene right behind it, and today I'm gonna take you along as I go through fabricating this process. If you're new around here, check out our website, AROSSWELDING.com. There on the website, you can find our online store where we carry a few things that you may see me use in these videos. If you can't find what you need there in the shop, check out my favorites page there on the website also. The goal with the favorites page is to share with you what tools, clothes, etc. that I recommend or that I use on the daily, that I'm trying out, or that I have used for several months, several years, etc. So to start with, we pour a cup of coffee. Of course, always gotta have your coffee before you start the project. But after the coffee, first thing I did was pull measurements over there for the cutout around the welding machine, just like we did on the driver's side. So we got 26 from the front of the bed. I always try to orientate the piece I'm cutting like the same way if I was just to pick it straight up and move it onto the truck bed over there. That way less confusing, if you will. Beautiful day to be fabricating. Now I'll go grab my 4-foot level, make a line here and a line here, and this part will be drop, and then we'll lay out circle for our acetylene and lay out our rod box. Actually, before we do that, we'll carry this over there, lay it on there, get it all squared up after we get that cut out, and then mark our taper just like we did on the other side. Is it just me, or does coffee taste better out of a mug like I was just drinking out of? Like with no lid. Yeah, no lid. We'll call it that, no lid. For me, coffee tastes better in a cup with no lid. Alright, now we let her cool off. Alright, so it's cooled off. Now I'm going to cut what's left here. I left these connected because I learned this years ago. I don't even remember who taught it to me. And honestly, I'm not sure if it works. But the idea, what it's supposed to do, is keep it from warping. But with this 1/4-inch plate, it really doesn't warp anyway. The only thing that happens with a situation like this is sometimes these two will pop out a little bit, but hardly at all. Alright, carry it on in there. Carry it on in here. Let's see, how do I want to get this thing now? How do I want to do this here? I got it. Take it in. It's coming together. Anytime I get something fit up throughout this whole bed build, I sit there and admire it for a minute. And you know, it really pays off because I slow down and I think about stuff. And in the past, on other situations, I'll sit there and study it for a while and think of something that I need to do next, or a step that I may have skipped. All parts of this bed, it's just good to slow down and think. In another video, I talked about taking the bed off and welding it underneath. before I tacked this on. Instead of doing that, I remembered the drilling hole method like we did on the trunk. If you haven't seen that video, check it out. But I drilled some holes right here and then just welded inside of it. So this one I'll drill them before. I'll go ahead and mark them, and then I'll mark my taper here. Then I'll drill the holes, cut that while it's over yonder. Could use the circle burner here, but I want it to match the rolled piece. The rolled piece isn't true. A lot of times there's a flat spot where the pieces meet. Tell you what, it'd be a real good idea to put my ground over here. Money. Alright, so I've sat me a mini jack stand down there, took the head out of it because it was a little too tall. Now I'm gonna Alright, so for the rod box, we're gonna use two shorties without the heads. Alright, and for the hinges on this rod box, I'm going to be using some pre-made, what they call teardrop hinges, but I'm going to have to trim off the ones that are going to be attached to the lid. Alright, now that we've got our rod box in and our acetylene hole, I'm going to go ahead and start tacking up this oxygen bottle rack. welding part. You always gotta try it here. Try your project out. For one, it just makes it feel that much more gratifying, but for two, it's just not a bad idea to make sure everything works. Oh yeah, exciting. Okay, now that our set screws are in for our oxygen bottle, the plan is to mount a TIG weld reel on top of the box, but our bottle rack sits away from the driver's side a little bit. So if anybody's much shorter than me and has a little bit shorter arms, it would be kind of hard to reach. So I'm making a lift and a shift, if you will, of the hose reel. And just cut out some 1/4 inch plate. Now we're gonna tack it up, and then I'll show you. Now that our bottles are secure, the last thing I'm going to do for our bottle rack, if you will, is put these rails that I just built out of 1/2 inch hot square, if you will, square stock, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to tack one here, one right behind me, keep stuff from sliding into the cab, and then I'll put me a rod right here, tying them both in, and then that will wrap up this video. I appreciate you being here this week. Don't forget to check out our website, AROSSWELDING.com. Shop our online store to find the soapstone, grinder holder, whatever you may be interested in over there. If there's anything else that you see me use in my videos but you can't find on our online store, check out the favorites page there at AROSS Welding. Also, there are several lists there on the favorites page of stuff that I use on the daily. I hope the video was helpful. Have an awesome weekend, and remember, learn something every day.